Hello guys and welcome to another video. My name is Mark and welcome to Friday. I'm an entrepreneur and property investor. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the statement by Robert Kiyosaki that your home is not an asset. And we're going to get my take on it because my take is slightly different. And I think my take is more for the average person. So I actually believe that your home is an asset and I'm going to tell you exactly why. And I'm going to tell you exactly how two of my homes have made me between them almost £750,000. So I think your home is an asset if it's used rightly. I'm going to tell you how I've used my houses and the homes that I've lived in to make me money, and I'm going to share all that information with you on this video. So if you haven't already given it a like, please give this video a like. It massively helps me out with the algorithm. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Again, we're going to be giving away the dividends from our dividend portfolio every single month, and we're going to eventually, Nick, give away what?
House.
A house. We're going to give away a house at some point. Before we go any further, actually, I want to sit over there, Nick. Can I go over to where the new sign is? Yeah. So we got the new sign and I am really, really pleased with it. It says invest with Mark Parham. It's here for the YouTube channel. You don't know how long it's taken Nick to set up this frame, but do you know what I'm going to do now, Nick? I want to go back to the whiteboard. So Nick has now had to reset up all the lights, which I'll show you towards the end of this video. And I want to talk to you about why your home is an asset and why I believe Robert Kiyosaki, although coming from the right place, is actually wrong in this instance. Now, I need to go back to 2010 when I bought my first house. And I bought a 3-bedroom house for $176,000 over in Erith. Now, it's really important to say that I turned this into a cash machine from day one because I rented out my 2 spare bedrooms. That said, even if I hadn't done that, I still think it was an asset. Because today, the best part of 11, 12 years later, it's now $425,000. So it's hard to say that that is not an asset when it's created so much money for me. Now, what you do with the money in it is a completely separate question, right? So for me, I have refinanced this spread and I've used that money to purchase other properties. And that is a really good use of that capital. So if I'm completely honest, this next property, the one in Dividend, which is now a 6-bedroom HMO, that wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't bought this house and refinanced in order to get that money out, alongside having the rental income that was over £1,000 a month to save up the £50,000–60,000 that I needed as a deposit for that. I then went on and bought 2 more, which I can directly contribute to this property here, another Dividend one and a Sheffield one. So I would say that my first house, i.e. my home, was an asset in that instance, and it definitely helped me in order to purchase properties later on. And I speak to lots of investors who are now looking to refinance their home in order to release equity in order to purchase investment properties. Now that means that that must have been an asset, right? So I personally disagree with Robert Kiyosaki on this point on principle, but I'm going to tell you about the second house I bought, my second home, which is this Dividend property here. I purchased this for $399,000. I don't know why I put 200. It's $399,000. And that property today is worth $525,000. It is a 6-bedroom property in Dividend. If you want to look on Rightmove, get an idea, do you think I'm telling the truth? Is it worth $525,000? It was originally a large 4-bed. It had to be quite a large, I think it was 1,400 square foot. It's now rented out for £4,200 a month as a HMO. That's netting me a profit of somewhere in the region of £2,000 a month. So that alone would make a lot of people financially free. So I disagree with the premise that your home is not an asset. I believe your home is an asset, but what you do with the money inside that property is what really, really matters. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at my home, and I'm going to take you around there. I'm also going to talk to you about why I believe this home is also an asset and how it's going to make me about £700,000. So Nick, grab the camera, show the guys these lights, show them all the great job you've been doing. Do you need to spin it?
Yeah.
Go on, spin it round and round and round. And the other thing we could do, Nick, we should get KFC. What do you think? KFC for lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick's up for a KFC. Before he met me, he'd never had a KFC. Incredible fact. But Nick, show the guys the lighting that I made you set up all over again. It's you guys need to appreciate what goes into making these videos. So Nick, let's hit the road, let's get a KFC, and then let's go and see my home, and let's talk about how my new home is also an asset. Let's go, guys. Dude, check out the new sign that's just come. You got to get this up in the office next to the whiteboard, I think. Yep. True wealth doesn't burn. I'm not sure that's entirely true. I think we could probably burn a house. You could probably burn a business as well, to be fair. But you get the sentiment. So Nick, do you want to do a drone shot of the house or what? Let's go. So Nick, I've been thinking about my entire property portfolio, and I think the whole of it, or almost all of it, could be attributed to just getting those first properties when I bought them as my personal home. Because if I think about it, I bought the first house in 2010, I didn't buy my second house in 2015, and that was used by the proceeds of refinancing and the rent from the first one. Now that one I refinanced in order to buy the second and third one, and then when I moved out of there and bought the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th one, I was using that as a HMO, which was generating £2,000 a month, and refinancing the first, second and third one. So I think the snowball really all started from the fact that I bought that first house as a home. Now I agree, I did something smart. I rented out the 2 rooms, and by renting out those first 2 rooms, it meant that I lived there essentially mortgage free, whilst paying the mortgage off, whilst paying the bills and everything else. But ultimately, I think if I hadn't bought that first house as a home, I don't think I'd be anywhere near as far on as I am in my journey. And back that up, one of my co-directors who hasn't bought a home to date, actually we've earned about the same amount in our business. However, he still doesn't have a property portfolio at all. He's looking to buy his first one as we speak. So for me to have 14 or 13 with a 14th on the way, and for him to have absolutely none, it just professes to how important getting on the market is and how your home can be an asset. Now I'm a big believer in getting the money out of your home and using that for good, because I believe that if you can borrow at 2% and make it 10, 20%, you should borrow as much as you possibly can. And maybe we should reiterate the saying as, your home is only an asset if you're willing to refinance it, or your home is only an asset if you're willing to rent out the spare bedrooms. But ultimately, I'm a believer that your home is an asset, and I think that saying from Robert Kiyosaki is absolutely wrong. And I don't want anybody to think in such a one-dimensional term. I think there's many ways to skin the cat, and I think there's many ways to build wealth. For me, my home was an asset. I'm 13 properties richer, 3 million quid further on, because I bought that first house. So while we're here though, Nick, let's do the swimming pool update, shall we? Should we do a swimming pool update? Nick, I'm going to grab the camera off you, because I think we need a. You got it? Yeah. We need you as a. So first of all, what colour? Good.
Mate, this is crystal clear.
Crystal clear. Temperature?
The bath.
A bath water, right? Bath water. Now, what you don't know is I was supposed to put it on 30 degrees. I put it on 40 degrees and it is absolutely boiling in there. I think it's probably cost me a small fortune in energy keeping it at that temperature. But we've got solar panels up there. That's going to be offsetting some of it. And back to this house, actually, how this house is an asset, how my home at the moment is an asset. Well, this is an asset because we live here, not only because we've got money in the property, but also because we're going to be building a big extension. It's an opportunity here. We're going to be spending £500,000 on an extension, which is going to add 1.25 million to the value of the property. I mean, how could that not be an asset? So guys, rethink that saying. Don't be so tied up on the fact that your home is not an asset. You know what? It is an asset, because you can't really sell the fact that you've got a lot of money in your house as not being an asset to your balance sheet. It is. But I do understand that you want assets that put money in your pocket, so make sure that you're either refinancing or getting lodgers or doing something creative to make sure that passive income is coming to you. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've massively enjoyed putting it together for you. If you've got any questions, put them down below. I'll answer every single one. Robert Kiyosaki's a liar. I'm telling you the truth. Let's go.